We did not let what happened on January 6th, which was an insurrection incited by the President of the United States. Eyes of these poor souls who are looking for some answers. We've given them to them, but they're blocked by some of their views on guns. They have the 3 Gs, guns, gays, God, that would be a woman's right to choose. And the cultural issues cloud some of their reception of an argument that really is in their interest.
So she just called people stupid.
Yes.
Who disagree with transitioning kids in grammar school or junior high to a quote-unquote new gender.
Yes.
And who don't want babies slaughtered in their mother's wombs. She says those people are too stupid to know what's good for them.
Yeah.
And they're blinded by those issues, and they cannot accept the Democrats' policies that are good for them.
Yeah. Like abortion. So these people have a wrong view of God.
It's like Hillary Clinton's basket of deplorables.
Basket of deplorables. They need to be sent off for retraining. This is scary stuff, folks. It really is. The attitude that we hear of the Nancy Pelosi's. We know, basically she's saying the Democrat Party, and which I'm a part of, we know what's best for you.
You're a part of? Grant?
Nancy Pelosi's part
Oh, you're
of the,
quoting her?
Yes.
Okay. I just want to make clear.
Yes.
Somebody may have just turned on the radio and thought, what's happened to Fred?
Yeah.
No,
but the arrogance that is, it comes at us through climate change. We know what's best for you.
Yeah.
You got to stop driving those cars that use gasoline.
Right.
And you got to start driving electric cars. We know what's best for you. And by the way, if you don't do what we tell you to do, we'll force you to do it.
Right.
This is where, and the American people are saying, wait a minute, this is the United States of America.
Right.
We're not going to put up with this nonsense. But they're too blind, they're too arrogant to see it. Like Joe Biden is going back out, I think, to Los Angeles, and he's going to have a fundraiser. So he's going to have George Clooney and a few other Hollywood elites.
Right.
You know what? They're all in on this, and it's like $250,000 a plate. All right?
I'm out.
You know, but this is where the leadership of the Democratic Party is right now. They're all in on this. And the American people are saying, I'm paying 25% more for groceries.
Right.
This is where I live, Joe Biden. You don't live here. And I'm tired of what you're doing. So you add all of these things like we've been talking about. You add what's going on in the Middle East. You add about what they're seeing a government that's turning against Israel, our major ally.
Yeah.
They're fed up with it. The invasion of the southern border, millions of people coming into this country.
Right.
And as Tim, you were pointing out a few moments ago, it is the Democrat cities that are rebelling.
Yeah.
It is blacks in the Democrat cities that are saying, you're shutting down schools here, and you're saying we don't have enough money to open up schools in the south side of Chicago, but the illegals come along and you open up the schools again.
Yeah. Right. Listen, I know that, every election we say, people say, well, this is the most important election in our lifetime. I'm talking about presidential election. And I would include congressional and senatorial too this time, and I don't know if that's true or not, because I don't know. But I do know this, that if Biden is not rejected, then we've seen what he's been doing with this far left agenda the last 3 years. And then he will just basically, these Biden is two different situations as far as his presidency. One is he knows what's going on, and the other one is he doesn't know what's going on. He does know what's going on, probably in a day-to-day briefing, meeting, whatever like that. But what Biden doesn't know, but he's still responsible for, and this is my opinion, is how these underlinks that, when somebody doesn't really know what's going on, for whatever reason, they have cognitive decline or whatever, and people take advantage of them.
Yeah.
You've all heard elderly abuse?
Right.
And I'm not laughing about this. I think Biden is very subject to elderly abuse. Not that he isn't ultimately responsible for decisions, because he's the one running for president, But I don't think he has any idea, or maybe he doesn't care, what all these the people under him, they're the same ideology as these people who are protesting in the streets.
Right.
The pro-Palestinian, BLM, Antifa. These are the they may dress up better and talk better, I don't know, but these are not normal Democrats from years gone by. The people that are becoming infested in his Biden administration and the underlings are far left American hating wackos. A lot of them. Is that?
No, absolutely. I believe that the Trump administration, you're talking about all the underlings, that the Biden administration has become infested with Marxists, with LGBTQ activists and radicals, and radical Muslim sympathizers.
Right. Yes.
And what's he going to do? What's Joe Biden doing?
Because he doesn't know. He's doing good to get up day to day and say some complete sentences.
Yeah.
So whoever is his chief of staff, and I don't even know who that is now. Do y'all know? Could you name his chief of staff? His chief of staff is running, and whoever, maybe 2 or 3 others, they're basically running the show.
I think it's Jeff. Is it still Jeff Zients?
I don't know. I
used to be Ron Klain. I think that's. I think
changed his name.
Huh?
Changed his name?
No. Oh, different guy.
It used to be, huh?
No, the chief of staff.
Oh, okay.
Used to be Ron Klain.
Okay, we'll be back in 5 minutes. Stick with us.
The views and opinions expressed in this broadcast may not necessarily reflect those of the American Family Association or American Family Radio.
90.5 KTXG, Greenville, Dallas. Around us. That's why Christians need to stand strong on family values and morality. Hi, I'm Ray Rooney, editor of The Stand, a blog from the American Family Association. The Stand has timely, carefully written articles on relevant cultural issues that you can quickly forward to others. Visit afa.net/The Stand.
This is American Family Radio, a listener-supported ministry of the American Family Association.
American Family News, I'm Rusty Pugh. Former President Donald Trump's ex-attorney Michael Cohen takes the stand in Trump's criminal trial in New York, where Trump is facing 34 felony counts of falsifying business records. Eric Shawn reports by the Manhattan Supreme Court in New York City.
He said that he basically dealt with a lot of issues, renegotiated bills. For example, if a law firm or some vendors would send bills and the former president thought that they were too high, Michael Cohen would then, in his words, renegotiate them down. That basically was Cohen's in-house role, which was to renegotiate, challenge invoices, challenges bills from vendors and construction sites and this sort of thing. They have not gotten to the heart of this case, the allegations of the 34 counts of business fraud against him. Cohen, of course, expected to testify that he reimbursed Stormy Daniels $130,000 from his home equity line of credit.
Fox News contributor Joe Concha says even in liberal New York, if the prosecution is relying on the testimony of Cohen, Trump should be acquitted.
If they're depending on Cohen, who already has gone to jail, who's already admitted to lying countless times in terms of when he's on the witness stand, we're looking at either a hung jury or even an acquittal, even in Manhattan, which voted basically 9 out of 10 people voted for Joe Biden over Donald Trump in 2020. So this is where we're at this point. And when you consider Fonnie Willis, Jack Smith, those trials are probably happening after Election Day. This lawfare attempt to take out Donald Trump looks to be over.
Voting is underway in Alabama in efforts to unionize the Mercedes-Benz plant. Jeff Manasso reports.
The UAW says over 5,000 workers at Mercedes plant in Vance, Alabama are voting in a secret ballot on whether to unionize the plant in a nearby battery factory. Mercedes has urged workers to vote no. Final results are due Friday. If successful, Mercedes would become the second automaker in the southern U.S. to see its workers join the UAW ranks after workers voted to unionize at a Volkswagen factory in Tennessee in the UAW's attempt to gain momentum in the the traditionally anti-union American South. Jeff Manasso, Fox News.
COVID vaccine manufacturer AstraZeneca is pulling all of its stock off the shelves, saying the demand for the product is gone. But Steve Jordahl reports it probably has more to do with the recent admission that its product can cause deadly blood clots.
AstraZeneca's COVID vaccine was never available in the U.S., but was widely distributed in Europe and the rest of the world. It's facing a class action lawsuit in Great Britain that claims it's responsible for injuries and death because it can cause blood clots in some patients. AstraZeneca was forced to admit as much in court after internal documents were presented as evidence. Last week, the drug maker announced it was shelving its stock worldwide because of low demand. But Dr. Peter McCullough of the McCullough Foundation says that's patently false.
The arrangements for the vaccine companies were not based on market demand. The arrangements were all pre-purchased contracts of vaccine.
Dr. McCullough says the AZ vaccine produces large amounts of what's called a spike protein, which in certain patients causes massive blood